like you need a voice that can command respect and attention and fear. And I'm sorry, Nolan fans, Christian Bale's Batman voice is not it. The really impressive thing about Kevin Conroy is he does the Adam West thing where he changes the voice.
Right.
But it's just that voice is just so fit for Batman.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that voice,
It's not Batman.
there's not like you need a voice that can command respect and attention and fear. And I'm sorry, Nolan fans, Christian Bale's Batman voice is not it.
I think that was a Bat Logan. Swear to me.
Why do you want to kill me?
Snicked.
Why do you want to kill me?
It was very Wolverine-ish for me. I mean, that Chris Nolan, they swear to me.
No, but see, the reason doesn't work for me is Batman's voice is his real voice. Bruce Wayne's voice is the fake voice.
That's right.
But you can blame Frank Miller for that one.
What?
Because in Batman Year One, that's when he talked about he had a growl.
Yeah.
Was inspired by it.
That's where Nolan got it. The growl.
The growl.
Comics are not an audio medium.
Well, Kevin Conroy's voice, I think that was just spot on. I mean, every time I see a Batman drawing or from a comic book, I hear Kevin Conroy. I don't hear anyone else.
I think Hamish Linklater for Caped Crusader tries to sound like Kevin Conroy.
He's the closest.
He sounds close.
He's the closest.
Like Diedrich Bader in Brave and the Bold wasn't trying to sound like Kevin Conroy.
No.
Right?
I like Brave and the Bold.
I like Brave and the Bold
That was
too.
fun, especially the music maestro.
He was trying to sound like Adam West.
My favorite, going to Caped Crusader, it's fast lang. My favorite's the Music Meister.
You're talking about Brave and the Bold.
That was my favorite. You hear
The
the
Music Meister.
Was that Justice League Unlimited where Batman sang?
Yeah.
Unlimited yan, di ba?
It's called This Little Piggy. And will you believe me if I tell you that they got in trouble for that?
Really? Wow, how so?
So Batman is super protected by Warner Brothers,
Right.
and they don't ever want him looking silly.
Huh?
So,
How
which
can
is
you
why.
explain Adam West?
Well, no, this is before.
Okay.
That was before.
So now, this is after Tim Burton.
So even if you look at Batman: Brave and the Bold,
It was a bit serious.
the series is silly, but Batman isn't silly, right? So they did this thing with Wonder Woman turning into a pig, and the network had more problems with Batman singing than Wonder Woman turning into a pig.
That's crazy. I heard a rumor also that I don't know if this is true. See, Kevin Conroy would answer his phone with a Batman voice. Hello, Commissioner. He would do that now. And one time, one of the executives calls him, and he used that voice, and he almost got sued. Like, we own that voice. You can't use that publicly. We own that voice.
That's funny.
I don't know if that's true. I don't.
That's
I heard
funny.
it somewhere, or probably saw it in a YouTube channel somewhere. I can't remember.
But honestly, like, it's okay to make Batman lose once in a while.
Doesn't he always lose? In more ways than one?
I mean, his parents are dead, so he's always lost. But that might have been in bad taste.
No, I mean, most episodes, not naman most, I mean, a lot of episodes, especially in the animated series, he wins, but there's a caveat always to his winning.
There's always a tragedy.
It's always a tragedy. If it's not with him, it's with love
It's with somebody
someone,
else.
or
He's
the
never
villain,
happy.
villain themselves. Yeah,
Yeah, he's never happy.
So that's the reason I love that dichotomy of winning or losing. I love it, and that's the only show that did it. And I don't see any other show that will ever do that again.
Oh, really? You don't think
Caped
Crusader?
Okay, let's go to the Caped Crusader. Let's let the cat out of the bag. Do you like it? Come on, just be honest. Do you like it? We don't know anyone working there, so we can be honest.
Okay, so here, I don't like it, but it's my fault.
How so? Explain.
Okay, so I think in a vacuum, if I just watched it on its own, I think it's a good cartoon.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's a great cartoon. It's not going to blow me away. Right. It's not Blue Eye Samurai, but I see the creative team, so Bruce Timm and Ed Brubaker,
Right.
and I see that it's set in the 1930s. So what I'm expecting is hard-boiled crime noir
Right.
set in the 1930s.
A detective story.
Spoiler: we did not actually get hard-boiled crime noir. We got some elements of it.
It was noir. It was detective-ish.
Right, we got some
was.
elements of it,
Yeah,
but
it
like
was.
I kind of expected
Gotham's-
more moody lighting.
You mean Gotham Central?
Yeah, like
type.
like Gotham Central type, like lighting and shadow work.
Got it. Must grit.
I
More grit.
expected more grit.
But this is a bit
And
not grit.
I also expected something to really cement it in the 1930s. And I don't really feel like I got that. I feel like it could have taken place at any time before cell phone showed up.
Perfect. That's what I want to interject also. What I like about the animated series, we don't know what era it is. And I love that with Batman. I love that with the Tim Burton Batman. You don't know if you are in the future or in the past or somewhere in between. It's just a retro mod smorgasbord of misplaced elements. And I love that in Batman. And I love that with the animated. This one was supposed to be in the 30s. So
Did
no
you feel that it was in the 30s?
No kasi
Right?
unang-una, his car seems modern. Diba? The first thing a giveaway is the cars in the 30s. Cars in the 30s don't look like that. It's a sports car.
And if you look at the Batmobile that he had in the 30s and 40s, it's a regular car.
It's a regular with a bat like a bat shield.
And it was red.
It's red. Yeah. Diba? And he had the flashlight pa.
I do like
Like a normal flashlight.
I do like that they gave him his original costume.
Yeah, I
It's
like
nice,
that.
yeah.
I like that. Do you like that he treats Alfred that way?
Pero sa last.
Well, may bawi. This is like
Okay, so it took me by surprise, but then I realized they were trying to do something,
yeah.
right? So I'm willing to forgive it.
Okay. Not
What I'm weirded out by is why Detective Flash looks like Scottie Pippen.
In a zoot suit.
In a s-
Blue suit.
well. That's one thing. That's a redeeming factor for me. I like Montoya. I like what
Montoya is great in it.
I like what they did to the character. I love
feel like
how
it's hard to get Montoya wrong. Montoya is a very good
he's
character.
a good character. I think it's gonna be always good. But this one was really bidang-bida siya. It was really centered on her. It was a cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It had that cat and mouse element. Monto was trying to figure it out. I also like the fact, sorry JV, this is not naman masyadong spoiler, konti lang. I like the fact how smart Harley Quinzel is.
I like that Harley's not funny.
That's right. That's
Like,
right.
It's such a... Because a lot of the times with remakes, you just want to keep things fresh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... Like, if this is just going to be Batman the Animated Series again, I'm just going to watch Batman the Animated Series
right.
again. Like, I think the success of X-Men 97 is because it's a better cartoon than actual X-Men from
But
1997.
it was still playing on nostalgia.
Right.
It was still hitting our kid hearts.
Right.
There was a target market. I think with this, it's the same thing.
It's trying. So I like the change that they made, because the obvious thing to do with Harley is to make her even funnier. But the way that she's not funny, I'm like, okay, that's fresh.
That's fresh.
nice. The other fresh thing that they did, I have to give them props for this, because I swear, if you had me guess which Batman villain they were gonna turn into a woman, I would have never guessed the Penguin.
And a flirty penguin
And
at
a
that.
flirty penguin.
Who's my mini drive?
Voiced by Minnie Driver.
Was that Mini Driver? I don't read the credits. Oh my gosh, really?
With children.
Who she?
Who she... Okay, spoilers.
We won't. Pero parang alam na ni G. Oh my God. Okay, there are redeeming factors. I think it would be a show if we did not know animated. If we didn't go through the Batman animated series, this would be fresh.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But since that exists, this awesome thing of perfection exists. my question is, do we need this?
It's hard kasi
Do we need another one?
Kasi, for example, to go back to another cartoon, from Batman the Animated Series, it's easy to watch Brave and the Bold.
Yes. Kasi yun, that was a bit far,
Right.
but still kind of connected, but still far.
Right? You're getting the same elements, but you're getting them in a completely different mix.
That's right. That's right.
But this is like this I'm gonna pull out like a really bad analogy. Like if Batman the Animated Series is like Sinigang,
Okay, Bat Sinigang.
right?
Bat Sinigang.
And then Batman Brave and the Bold is like,
Say adobo.
let's say adobo. Caped Crusader is like, alam mo yung sinigang na hindi so it's like this one
Cold-
is sinigang
cold sinigang?
that was made from sampalok talaga, and this
Yeah.
one is made from sampalok mix.
Store bought.
Yeah.
Store bought.
Yung bouillon cubes.
So it's like
Instant sinigang.
it's like mas malaki yung, because the overlap is bigger
Yeah.
with Batman the Animated Series. It's a little harder to put Batman the Animated Series aside
Yeah, you can.
when judging it. Whereas if you're watching Brave and the Bold, it's just like I'm watching Brave and the Bold.
Kasi ito yun eh.
I'm singing along to the music myself.
That's right, that's right. Ito yun eh.
Green Arrow is third-rate Batman.
Yes, except longbow hunters. Ito yun eh. When you see Fleischer, and it's amazing, the Superman Fleischer, then you watch Batman Animated Series, hindi siya tinaob ng Fleischer. Diba?
No,
It was
no.
kind of awesomeness both sides. And you get this probably the same time as same amount of time that you get Batman Caped Crusader with animated series. Why does it look inferior? Because it
It's
is.
the same character. If they had done Superman in the style of Fleischer in the 90s,
Di ba? Hindi ba? Meron na, di ba? Don't we have one?
so the Superman animated series after Batman the animated
was good.
series was good.
That was good.
But the original pitch for it was
Fleischer.
more Fleischer. Like it was supposed to be set in the 50s. And then they realized this is not the way to go.
Okay.
Which I kind of agree with, because if they had done that, I would have just endlessly compared it to Fleischer Superman.
That's right. So, okay, so it's safe to say that Caped Crusader is not fresh. It's a rehash of sorts. It's this is just our opinion. You can like it, you can love it, and that's great. But if it's something that you think it's gonna be fresh and revitalize your Bat fandom, it might not be. Because I remember comparing our childhood with Super Friends, then you see Tim Burton's Batman or you see Frank Miller's Batman. It just blew our minds. It's just a whole different thing. And lately, we haven't had that.
You haven't
effect.
had a new different thing.
I never had a new different thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Maybe we're just too old.
hindi. Is it really? Is it
And we've
really?
seen it all now.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised with the new Batman. When the Caped Crusader was announced, I was like, do we really need another Batman?
Well, see, that's the interesting thing is because, like, so I'm just going to talk about Superman for a bit. I love my adventures with Superman.
I love it.
Because it's
better than one.
completely
Yeah.
fresh.
It was fresh.
And also, like, super flirty.
Again kasi, Duy, it's coming from the Super Friends. We were coming from the Super Friends Superman. That's why it looks so great. We had the comparison, which is way, way more inferior. Way, way inferior. And we have this awesome cartoon after. With this, sorry, you're really gonna compare it to animated series, which is by far, this new one is inferior.
And also, the unfair thing is Batman the Animated Series is... Like, look, I think Justice League Unlimited is better than Batman the Animated Series, right?
At some points, yeah.
But Batman the Animated Series is the game changer.
It's the game
And
changer.
therefore, if you're going to compare something to it, for it to hold up, it also has to be a game changer.
Yeah.
And Caped Crusader is not
It's
a
not.
game changer.
Here's a question.
It can't be.
It can't. Here's a question. How will you try to imagine, how will you recreate Batman? I mean, I think it's been done. I think we've seen so many Batmen throughout the years. How will you recreate? How will you change people's perspective on Batman?
They're trying it again. They're trying it right now with Absolute Batman.
Isa na naman?
The super bulky one.
Yeah, the really without no Alfred,
No wealth.
no wealth.
So it's a Daredevil. So technically it's Daredevil na hindi bulag.
Without the Raiders and stuff.
Oh, still. Okay, so it's vigilante without the gun.
But it's still a guy focusing on like fighting crime and like putting himself
Grounded.
to the point that he can be at the utmost potential of any man.
Oh man, where are they gonna stop? I think I should give him a bat rest, a whole
Well, okay,
bat
so
vacation.
here's the thing about Batman that I feel is, do you know the Arkham Asylum comic, not by Grant Morrison, the one by Dan Slott,
Yeah.
right?
Shark.
The one with the shark, right?
Yeah.
So it came out in like the early 2000s. When Dan Slott pitched it, it wasn't supposed to be a Batman story. The executives looked at it and said, "It's a good story, but it won't sell. Put Batman in it."
So what was it supposed to be?
It was just a regular pitch for some random villains.
Okay, sayang.
So, I do think Jason will like this because you're a wrestling fan. So, I do think there is such a thing as relying so much on one star that you cannot make new stars.
Alam mo, totoo yun. I'll give you another. I acknowledge that fully. I'll give you another one. That Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. It was a good film. That could have been any film. It would still be good. It didn't need to be a Joker.
It didn't need to be Joker.
It didn't need to be Joker. Parang cash grab na lang si Joker.
You could have called it anything else.
It
You
would
could have
still
called
be a
it-
good film.
You could have called it Taxi Driver, and you know.
Yeah.
It was Taxi Driver.
Or The Guest or the. Well, it was based on a Scorsese film also, diba? The
King of Comedy.
King of Comedy.
Yeah, King of Comedy.
There you go.
Right. So I do think there is that there. Kasi, for example, so I talked about Sean McLaughlin earlier.
Yeah.
Right? He was telling me a story about how in the 90s he was writing Aquaman.
Okay.
And his directive from DC was to make Aquaman cool.
Right.
So he wrote a sequence where Batman guest stars, and then Aquaman punches him and Batman goes up against the wall.
Right.
And
Kasi
that-
malakas si Aquaman.
Malakas si Aquaman. DC tells him no, Batman blocks the punch.
Oh man, you can block.
And it's like, and Sean McLaughlin goes,
you can't.
how does he block the punch
He's human.
of a dude whose strength is, built from
Yeah.
under the sea? I don't
With
care, he
the
blocks the
pressure.
punch.
Come on.
So,
see?
he's just-
Executives.
So it is like, I do think it would be beneficial to give the character a rest for a while.
It should be. It should be. They should give it a rest. Hey, everybody. Tahimik lang kayo, ha? Mamaya na. Tahimik lang kayo, ha? Mag-shoot kami.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to go away for like forever. Maybe like
No.
4 years.
20 years.
Hindi naman, 4 years.
Let's save him for the next generation. It's hard. It's hard to. I'll give you a good. Okay, in between those time, I'll give you a good a Batman. It's not even Batman, but it wowed me. Owlman.
Oh.
Now that was a better Batman. That would be the most nihilistic Batman.
But see, the thing is, you're saying the words a better Batman just because you are tired of Batman.
That's right. And when I saw Owlman, it was fresh. But then again, it wasn't Batman. It was Owlman, an analogy of Batman, which is kind of the same thing. And at that point, watching that, reading the comics, and even the animated movie, which I loved, you see Owlman being the most nihilistic character I've ever met, I've ever seen. Diba? He goes,
Voiced by James Woods.
James Woods pa, diba? And he goes, I'll destroy Earth Prime because what's the point?
Yeah.
Diba? And that's the most nihilistic thing. This is the only decision that's worthy of making a decision with. Diba? Sabi niya ganun, that weird thing. It's psychology. So yun eh. After that, wala na eh.
That's a good point. Wala. I mean, it's hard. You have a lot of Superman imitators now, and it's annoying. At
It
this
is
point, There's so
annoying.
many. It's just glutting the market.
Oo nga eh. And I think it's detrimental sa characters.
You know why Marvel is able to build their stars more easily?
Huh, why?
It's because when there's a DC event, one of two people is gonna save the day.
Right.
right? It's going to be Superman or it's going to be Batman.
Right.
When there's a Marvel event, does Spider-Man save the day?
No.
No, right? Does Cap save the day?
No.
Sometimes. Does Iron Man save it? Sometimes. So, but like, sometimes it's some other person. Like Secret Wars 2015 was Black Panther.
No.
Was Black Panther and Namor. Right? So like, they're able to build stars because they are able to say, you know what, we don't need to rely on Spider-Man all the time. We don't need to rely on. I mean, they rely on the Avengers name, but everyone's an Avenger, so it doesn't really matter.
Everyone's an Avenger, no? It's like Green Lantern. Everyone gets a ring.
Like Oprah.
You get a ring. You get a ring. What color do you want? You get a ring. Parang, wala na. It nullifies the fact that it's special.
But
You know?
yeah, but a DC event, who's gonna save the day?
Yeah, just one or two.
So that's it. So like,
Kaya nakakapagod eh. I think we should give it a rest. I think we should, they should concentrate to the other properties. They have really good properties.
seriously,
But
give me.
that's the dilemma of having characters from 38 and 39. They're super legacy characters. I think that's part of why I love DC also, because it goes back to those two.
Yeah, and it's,
For me,
I agree.
that's a big part of the appeal.
you know what they should do? They just do a Grey Ghost cartoon. Just
Well, that's just out of nowhere, but okay.
Just concentrate on Grey Ghost. Diba? Concentrate on the actor who had the dilemma and wants to actually fight crime, but still an actor. I don't know. I don't.
Niche kasi si Grey Ghost.
I agree. I agree with you, Jason. So the dichotomy of the two is a really big appeal for DC. They just need some stuff where someone else shows up, right?
They got so many other characters.
They've got
So
so
much
many other
characters.
characters.
They have so much
To be
card.
fair, Flash did have his moments in Crisis and in Flashpoint.
Oh yeah,
And of course you
yeah.
have Blackest Night.
They have tried with Flash, but it just ends up with Flash.
With Blackest Night.
That's nice.
Okay, I'm being proven wrong here, so you might want to wrap up.
Okay, guys, watch it. You can watch the new one, and you can watch the animated series. And I'm telling you, you might have the same opinions as we, or maybe not.
You can tell us if we're just being old.
We're just being old. We're just being, I guess, pure.
It's streaming on HBO Go.
It's streaming. You can rewatch it there. It still holds up. I'm telling. My fandom from when I was 12 years old still remains the same. It still stays the same. Hindi nawala. So I
You
guess
can't say that about a lot of stuff. A
And
lot
you
of stuff
can't.
doesn't age very well.
and you
huh?
can't like Sleepwalker. Ang kulit ko sa Sleepwalker. Like what you? Pero sabi mo, yeah, give it to a good writer. It would be
No,
better.
give it to a good artist.
And a good writer. The writing sucked.
If you put James Williams on Sleepwalker,
The writing sucked.
ganda na yan.
Like, it doesn't matter who the writer is.
Yeah.
Seriously, give it to a psychedelic artist.
Right,
And then
right.
set it all in
Right.
there and have them go wild.
Right.
Mike Del Mundo.
Like already, it should be a psychedelic story, but it wasn't. And
Do you remember that Electra series that came out a few years ago that Mike Del Mundo drew? Yeah, that would have been better if it was Sleepwalker.
You could put John Cassidy on or Jim Lee on Sleepwalker. It would still work.
It will still work. Anyways, that's another.
You cannot put Jim Lee on Sleepwalker because he is contracted to DC.
Anyways, you guys, it's been fun talking to you. Do it again. I hope we can do this again with another property. Maybe Superman. Maybe
Do whatever, man.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it was nice. It was refreshing talking about our childhood, our fandom when we were kids, and the new one. That new one that's streaming now. It's not bad.
Other kids might like it.
They might like it. So
Kids
check it
even
out.
like Batman now? I don't know. Do kids like Batman now?
What's the most famous catchphrase? I am vengeance.
I am the Knight.
I am the night. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
And visit Coffee and Comics here.
Oh yeah, and Comics Cube and the Comics Cube.